All right, guys, welcome back to the channel tonight. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. The diplomacy is ending. I believe we're going to move into the next phase of the Iran conflict. I believe we're about to see things could get a little more
The
Western
Iran
quickly,
conflict
is my guess. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of action before the president gets to China. I think once he gets to China, he could have this planned out so that he's there with Xi Jinping watching what happens, what unfolds there. But tonight it looks like the deal is dying. Trump is now saying that the Iran ceasefire is basically on life support, much like the Ayatollahs. Iran's latest answer was rejected. And the reason that this matters is simple. Tehran didn't just ask for peace. They asked for sanctions relief. They wanted oil exports. They wanted an end to naval pressure. And they didn't really offer anything. They wanted more control around the Strait of Hormuz. And that just doesn't seem like a ceasefire, in my opinion. That just seems like Iran is trying to turn a bad hand into leverage. And many of you are probably card players. And I don't think you can bluff this guy. This is not Kenny Rogers. You're not sitting at well, it's too late to count your money sitting at the table, right? That's the way the song goes. The gambler. And I don't believe Donald Trump is a gambler. He has the United States military backing him. He's got 4 of a kind, maybe 5 of a kind, now that a couple of ballistic missile submarines are in the area. And now while all of this is happening, the U.S. Navy sending very different kind of message. Reports say that the USS Alaska, one of America's Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, I served on many of those. It surfaced in Gibraltar. It ran through the Rock. They call it the Order of the Rock. It went through there. And that's not something you usually see by accident from a Trident missile submarine. I've been through the Rock. We pulled into the Straits of to Morocco there as well. And it was a signal. It is a massive signal when a submarine surfaces with that kind of firepower. So here's the question I've got for everybody in the chat. Please, did Iran just make Trump's decision easy? Because I believe once diplomacy starts collapsing, the oil prices start moving. Hormuz stays under pressure. And now the submarines have started showing up. And we're no longer talking about some normal diplomatic disagreement. We're basically talking about who controls the escalation. And from where I'm sitting, right here, Iran may have just pushed this from negotiation into a test of American power. We're going to walk through what changed, what Iran is really asking for, why this submarine signal may be the part everybody is missing. I've got a guest coming on the show tonight. He's a patriot. He's an American business owner. He is a veteran of combat. So we're going to get his take on this. We're going to talk a little bit about Iran. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about some of these other things that are causing all of this. And then I'm gonna set you all up and take some phone calls from some of you. I tried to get on another guest tonight, guy by the name of Larry Johnson. He is a very infamous former CIA guy. And we're going to set something up later. He was busy tonight, but I'm really interested in getting him on because I want to challenge him on some of his things, some of the things that he has said, because I don't like the idea of people just saying things without a little pushback. And Larry Johnson has made some very strong statements about the guy sitting at the table here. I want you to hear this.
Perhaps that's experience. I always knew that, we were being just absolutely decimated, but, I was hunted. I was the hunter. Now I'm I was the hunted then, and I had to devote a lot of time to that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been too effective. Yeah. If I was out of office, I wouldn't have been. I was hunted by some very bad people. Now I'm the hunter. It's much better when you're the hunter, but these are bad people.
Do you agree with the president there? Do you think he has turned into the hunter? I posted this on X and I got a bunch of people referencing some QAnon stuff. And I know a lot of people really follow the QAnon. I don't. I think it's a Democratic psyop. I think it's always been a Democrat psyop. But I think you can find entertainment or maybe some answers in. You can connect dots on anything that you really want to, but that's up to you to decide. I don't believe in the QAnon stuff. But here we go. Trump says the Iran ceasefire is on life support as hopes for a deal fade. Do any of you, and I'd love to get your opinion in the comments, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you think that we will see a real resolution in this conflict? Do you think that we will see, do you think that we will see the president come to a deal? Do you think that there will be a deal, or do you think that there will be are we going to see boots on the ground? That's my question for everyone. Do you think we see boots on the ground? Because there's a lot of people at this point that are really starting to believe that that might be the only option. And I don't know. I really do not have any idea if that's what it's going to take, if that's what we're going to need to do, if that is the president running out of options. I don't know. And I think at this point, no one knows. And the one thing that I like about the president's current administration that he didn't have in a previous administration is that there were so many leaks and we knew too much. The public knew too much. The news media knew too much. Yeah, I agree. Ross Payne, no such thing as QAnon. There's Qs and there's the Anons. I think it's all garbage, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to get mad with you. I'm not here to have the political outrage arguments with you. It's just not my jam. There's a lot of people that enjoy that like the outrage. I'm beyond the outrage. I'm one of those people that whenever I get angry, I get a little more quiet. I get a little more refined. And I think what we're seeing right now is a very refined president. I think we're seeing a president that is coming to terms with the cards that he's been dealt, with the deals that he's got to strike. And I think that is going to worry a lot of the Democrats, a lot of the people around the world, because Trump is not just flying off the handle, remaining very calm, very cool, very collected. We're going to play this clip, and I've got to grab something real quick. Here we go.
For the time being, the ceasefire remains in place.
You know, it's unbelievably weak. I would say I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said I'm not going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. It's on life support. They understand these are all medical people. Dr. Oz, life support is not a good thing. Do you agree?
Bad prognostic.
I would say the ceasefire is on massive life support, where the doctor walks in and says, life support is not a good, sir. Your loved one has approximately a 1% chance of living.
So there you go. There's the president saying that the chances are really falling. And I believe a lot of you think the same thing. Somebody said bridges and power plants. Arthur, a long time no see. Hadn't seen you in a while. You're you know, I don't think you're very far from being wrong or being right there, Arthur. I think you're right on the target. I don't believe that the president is going to allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon. I really don't. What was this? I saw something. Ben Dykes, it's quite calm ones that you have to worry about. I agree with that. I believe it's the people that don't get upset. Spaghetti091. He rambles worse than Biden. He's slipping. Let me help you slip there, Spaghetti. We will let you slip right down the bottom of the toilet. And there we go. The first flush of the night, ladies and gents. First flush of the night. That didn't take long. It usually doesn't. for some reason, the people that want to show themselves always do show themselves. I'm going to get this guest on here. We've got a good guest coming on. I'm going to talk a little bit about this submarine stuff that's going on right here. U.S. Ohio class submarine arrived in Gibraltar yesterday. Let me get this. Don't forget to send me the link. Oh, yeah. There we go. So we got to send this link over, and we will get a guest on here. But what do you all think? I had to grab my Ohio hat here. Well, USS Nebraska hat is one of the subs that I was on. Let me see if I can get this guy in here. Here we go. Let's invite this guest. Copy, and let me send it on over. Here we go. If we got any veterans in the chat, if you're a veteran in the chat, make sure you post your branch of service there too. Let's see, info at, there we go. Watch.com. Okay. There we go. Okay. And we should have him over in just a second. I thought I could send this. I've got an iPhone and typically it's tied into my Mac, but this was, I think whenever I send something to a non-iPhone, I have to do it independently. So there we go. That is sent. Our guest will be tuning in just shortly here, and we'll get further down the road here. But what do you think about the Ohio class submarine, the USS Alaska, transiting through the Strait of Gibraltar, the Straits of Gibraltar, actually? And there's no audio on this clip, but that is one of the most powerful world-ending pieces of equipment that you will ever see. Let's see here. Lionel Jim, U.S. Navy, USS Parchie, 683. I may not have ridden that boat once. Lionel Jim, my last boat was the Carter, so we had similar missions. There we go, Subdevron 5. But this is one of the most powerful pieces of equipment ever been assembled, my man. This submarine right here, 560 feet long, little under 2 football fields, and carries a complement of about 160 crew members. And then you could probably put about another 40 or 50 special forces or other members of crew that you would want on there. This submarine is outfitted with 24 D5 missiles. Each one of those D5 missiles has multiple capabilities of warheads that it can carry. And so that is a big compliment that we have. And you don't send one of these to the Middle East for no reason. You don't load the gun, so to speak, for no reason. This is an absolute insurance policy for the world, or for the United States. Let's get this other guest in here. Let's go. Paul, what's going on, Paul? Can you hear me there? Radio.
Hey, Ben, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, Paul.
Just a second. Let me make sure.
Let's see if we can get Paul in here.
Yeah, just a sec. Testing. Can you hear me?
Let me see here, Paul. I want to see if you can hear me.
I can.
You can hear me good?
Yes.
Let me see what I can mess with here, Paul. Let me play with this real quick, and I'll just a second, Paul. I think I've got to change the settings on the audio for the, there we go. Okay, Paul, I know what I did. Okay, I just had to change the device added in. All right, there we go, Paul. Now you can hear me.
Can you hear me this time?
Yo, yeah, sure can. Turn it down just a little bit, Paul.
Yeah. Here, I'll move my mic back. Is that better?
Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, I was going to bring up your website here, and we'll get to that in just a second. But Paul, tell everybody who you are, where you're at, where you're coming from there.
Yeah. I'm Paul Brown. I'm the owner of Waston Watch Company. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, as you mentioned. Got to deploy to Iraq in 2008 to 2009. Worked as a cryptological linguist in intelligence, then worked at the Defense Intelligence Agency for a while as a civilian. And then I've worked in banking, and I ran for U.S. House of Representatives. And, I love politics and military, war, foreign policy, all of it.
Paul, what we're seeing right now in the Middle East with the president headed to China, I don't believe that the president is going to do a whole lot militarily until he either A, gets to China or comes back from China. What are your thoughts?
I agree with that. A lot of people, I think, fail to see the relevancy, the really strong connection between Trump's actions in Iran and his policy towards China. But everything involved with Iran, as well as, just what we've seen in Venezuela, potential stuff in Cuba, Greenland, is all related to China and Russia and sort of creating a stronger stance for the United States. And we have a leg up on China right now. And Trump knows that. I know that Xi Jinping knows that. And so we're in a really great negotiating position. And so I agree with you totally. I think he'll go there and see what he can work out and go from there.
I really believe that this has been set up. Trump has held back on some of the military operations until I think he gets to China. He's sitting at a table with Xi Jinping, and then some real military strikes happen because of the way that this is damaging China's economy. I think that would be the most perfect setting for him to bring up on some kind of, intel board with Xi Jinping and just lay waste to some of these factories, to some of these oil storage facilities. I mean, you're aware of how China operates. What would your thoughts be? Or put yourself in Xi Jinping's shoes. How would you react to something like that?
Man, it's hard to predict exactly how he'd react, but he's got to know that he is in a very weak position. I think his instinct is going to be to try to project strength, but across the table from Donald Trump, I think he's going to be able to, Trump is going to be able to cut through all that very quickly and just get to brass tacks and say, look, you can project strength all you want, but there's this piece of information and this piece of information. It's really hard to imagine Xi Jinping making concessions of any kind, but I also don't see what choice he has. I mean, he's got a nation with over 1 billion people. They have energy needs. That's the first and foremost. And they're going to have a really hard time fulfilling those energy needs based on the New World Order that we're creating, have created with Venezuela, and are currently creating through our action in Iran.
Yeah, I mean, by getting rid of Venezuela's dictator, we have gotten rid of communism out of our hemisphere. We're getting rid of communism with Cuba out of our hemisphere, and we're pushing communism back to Europe, back to Asia. And I think that scares the hell out of a lot of these. I think it scares the hell out of these other countries. Yeah. And with the amount of impact that this has had on China with the oil stopping from going there, not only does it hurt their country within, but without oil, they can't put diesel in their containers to send cheap crap to the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah. And it stalls their global ambitions. You look at starting in 2013, China initiated the Belt and Road Trade Initiative.
Okay.
And that's an initiative in which China is basically trying to become the dominant global superpower, the center of global trade, with a road to become the reserve currency, and so on. And a major strategic component of that initiative were both Venezuela and Iran. And we've already derailed all that. And that's why a few weeks, I think it was, right before, or maybe I can't remember the exact timing, right before, right after we initiated our actions in Iran in the last month or so, they came out and talked again about their ambition to become the reserve currency. But at that point, it was everyone could see the writing on the wall. That's not going to happen. And so they're not going to be able to take Taiwan, most likely, even though that's something that has been seemingly inevitable for a long time. I mean, if you don't have the energy to run your own nation, you're definitely not going to be invading a neighboring nation across the sea, even if it's a small crossing.
Now, Paul, you brought up the fact that you're a Marine Corps veteran. You were part of Defense Intelligence Agency, and then you started your own business. I'm going to bring up your website here if I can, and I would love for you to talk to the audience here about your business, about what you do, and I'll bring it up here. This is Wasson Watch Company. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I've always been very entrepreneurial, and back in 2018, I was looking for a business idea, something I could use to really provide for my family. And I love watches. Watches are something that I've worn since I was 5 years old. My parents gave me my first one while it was in the middle of Desert Storm, and it was this desert tan colored watch, and I just loved it. And ever since then, I've loved them. And I realized there was an opportunity in the market for a U.S. based company that had Christian, conservative, patriotic American ideals baked into the product and into the customer service. And so from the very beginning, that's how I've run my company. But it's not just what we say, and we are very outspoken about our beliefs, our Christian beliefs, our patriotic beliefs, but it's about how we run our business, right? If I say, hey, I'm a Christian and I have these strong Christian beliefs, but I don't make a great product, I don't deliver excellent customer service, what's the point? And so that's why we have 5-star reviews across the board on our products. And really what the watch is that we make, it's an automatic mechanical watch is our sort of flagship product. We've got a couple different options now. And the one that you're looking at there now is what I'm really excited about.
This one caught my eye. Caught my eye, Paul.
Yeah. This is the most affordable watch we've been able to produce yet. It's a 250th anniversary edition watch. I'm very excited. I know a lot of people are excited about the 250th anniversary of the United States. I think we have a lot to celebrate as a nation. We have a lot to give thanks to God about. But we have a lot to celebrate. And so this watch is really pointing to some of the great things about America. And, that's ingenuity, and that's hard work, and it's patriotism. And so that right there front and center on the watch, we've got the flag on the back. There's going to be a commemorative flag etched in. But the affordability of this is really exciting to me, because a lot of people want a really high-end quality watch but can't necessarily afford it. So we've basically got two options here. We've got the automatic version, which features a Swiss automatic movement, which, if folks are not familiar with those, those are very, very high-end movements, tend to be very expensive. That watch is $517.76, which for some folks, you're hearing that like, hey, that's more than you ever spent on the watch. That's on the expensive end. But trust me, for a U.S. assembled watch with a Swiss movement, a Swiss automatic movement, that is bottom dollar. And then we have a quartz version, so that's a battery-powered watch, and that's $317.76. So
Paul,
both of them have that 1776 in there.
Paul, here it says reference to the Bible verse, 2 Chronicles 7:14. Can you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, 2 Chronicles 7:14. And you know what? I better pull it up so I don't butcher it trying to recite it from memory. I need to memorize it. But 2 Chronicles 7:14, is a Bible verse. And what it says is, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. And here's the thing. I mentioned already, I'm a Christian. This is a Christian company. I'm personally going up to Washington, D.C. this upcoming weekend for the National Day of Prayer on May 17th, and which Donald Trump has announced it's going to take place at the mall in D.C. to rededicate America to God. I'm so excited to participate in this. And if you don't know this already, a few weeks ago, there's a group that was reading through the Bible as a nation, and different people were reading different sections of it. Donald Trump read that verse, 2 Chronicles 7:14, live on television. He read that verse out loud. And I think, man, the best thing that could happen to our country by far would be as if we as a nation repent and humble ourselves before God. Nothing could be more impactful for us, for our children, for our children's children, for future generations, for prosperity. And so as I'm celebrating and commemorating the 250th anniversary of our nation, I also want to help encourage people to do the things that will ensure that we're going to have another 250 years as a nation, so that we can celebrate our 500th anniversary, our great grandchildren down the line.
I think that is one of the things that I think I've said it before. I think Donald Trump has a superpower, and his superpower is exposing the people that hate America. I think the people that are anti-Christian or anti-patriotic, they don't want a Christian based value country. And I think Trump has his absolute superpower is exposing those people. Now, you came under a lot of fire with your business, and can you talk a little bit about that? Because you've had people coming after you, and I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, we've already talked a little bit about Iran and China this evening. A lot of people don't know that there is basically an alliance between China, Russia, and the world of Islam. And those groups have been working together to fund bot armies online on X, which is where I'm most active, but on other platforms, I'm sure they're on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. Mm-hmm. And they're going around and they're pushing anti-American agendas, but they're also really interesting. I've discovered in the last year or two, they're pushing very strongly anti-Semitic agendas. And it's like, oh yeah, why would they do that? What's the point? Well, they recognize this is a wedge issue. Okay, you take something that most Americans don't necessarily have sort of intrinsic strong views about the nation of Israel, right? And so you kind of get some people on one side of it and some people on the other, and then you make it this big deal, and you prop up all of this artificial hatred against Israel and, frankly, hatred against the Jewish people. And as I started to see that, before I even totally recognized it for what it was, which is, frankly, this international operation, I started to counter it. I started to give pushback against it through my official Watson Watch account, which, we cover every issue on there. We talk about abortion, we talk about prayer, we talk about God. And I started getting attacked. I got tens of thousands of negative comments, many of whom were probably bots, right? But I mean, I'm talking about death threats. I'm talking about lies about the company and so on and so forth. Because I think in part because of the action that we prosecuted against Iran and the limitation of their funding and so on, I've seen a decrease in the bot activity since then. And I think that China has funded some of it, Russia has funded some of it, different Islamic entities have funded some of it. But as we continue to make progress, as Donald Trump continues to make progress in defeating our enemies and strengthening America's position, we're going to see less and less of this very artificial push towards anti-Israel, anti-Semitism sentiments online.
I think, Paul, because of the way that you've handled it, I get a lot of angry, just mob hate, just hatred and vitriol. And I think you and I, both being military veterans, you get the most return fire when you're over the target.
Yes.
And if you're not doing the right thing, no one cares. If you're in right field, paying no attention to anything, no one cares. But if you're at, let's say, if you're at second base, if you're playing shortstop, if you're at first base, you're in the heart of the game. Typically baseball, they put their weakest player in right field. It's just the way it is, right? But if you're in right field, you're not going to get a lot of shots at you. But second base, third base, shortstop, first base, the balls are coming at you fast. And that's exactly the way it is right now in social media, in politics, in all of this. That's the way it is. One of my members here, one of my longtime members in the chat, Justin, says, I'm a watch snob. And I had to do this, Paul. The very first paycheck that I ever got in the United States Navy, and I think I shared it with you, I bought this tag watch with my very first paycheck. And after you and I had spoke, I dug out, I have the original box that this damn thing came in after I bought it in 1993 or 94 is when I bought this. And I still have the original receipt, and I paid like $352 for her. Here's the original receipt right here. $352 for this tag. What's it called? I can't even see the name on it. I don't have my contacts in. But the 250th anniversary watch, I'm going to get permission from my wife, and I'm buying one of these things because
awesome.
I think that just the opportunity to celebrate the 250th anniversary by purchasing something from a fellow veteran, because there's nothing that makes me happier, especially my line of work, than seeing veterans be successful. I think online in the social media space, it's too common for veterans to just tear each other apart.
Yeah.
And I've never understood it. I don't know why. I do see it with this Joe Kent. You've probably seen the chaos that this guy has caused.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that path of the way that, you know, veterans, sometimes after they leave the service, they just go, I don't know, go a little crazy, go a little off. What are your thoughts?
You know, veterans, you know, the U.S. military is a cross section of human beings.
Yeah.
Right. And you have people who go in the military from all kinds of backgrounds, political, different home. And hey, everyone who steps up to protect their country, you know, I commend them for that. And I appreciate Joe Kent's service and anyone else's service who has stood up and, you know, basically signed over their life on the dotted line up to the cost of their life to their nation. No one can take that away from him or anyone else. But what kind of man is Joe Kent? You know, Joe Kent was a registered Democrat and a registered libertarian for a long time before he was a Republican, right? There are a lot of folks who go in the military who, even though it's hard for maybe guys like you and me to understand, fully wrap our minds around it, but guys who go in the military who are incredibly liberal, incredibly leftist. I remember while I was in Iraq debating with a guy about gun control. I'm like,
oh God,
how can you be in the military over here serving your country, fighting for our right to keep and bear arms, and be against it? Blows my mind. But there are guys like that
in a combat zone.
Yeah, I think that guys like Joe Kent, unfortunately, have always harbored very different values and ideals than guys like you and me, and like Donald Trump. And eventually it comes out. He found himself, on this trajectory to get himself in this really great position in the administration. But at the end of the day, he really just couldn't take it that much longer. And when you think about libertarianism, a lot of people have a really positive view of libertarianism. For a long time,
I don't. It's a slippery slope. To hell with libertarians.
It is, and that's when I began to realize that libertarianism has received tons of help and organization from Russia, directly from Russia. A lot of the guys who are most heavily involved in that movement are literally working directly for Russia. I mean, talking about going on RT, which is Russian television, right? It's state-sponsored Russian propaganda. Those are some of the biggest voices for libertarianism. And it's like, hey, at some point you need to recognize the psyop, that it's not really about delivering liberty. It's about undermining the strength of our nation so that the strength of other nations, aka Russia, China, some of these other Islamic entities we've discussed, can really stand out and overpower us, and they can be the global superpowers. And man, people have got to start thinking about this outside their little bubble. Take off your blinders and look at the global situation here. It's never just about your neighborhood or your city or your state or your nation. There is a global fight, and we got to win.
The Libertarian Party. Nobody wants to talk about how the Libertarian Party started, but it was a group of anarchists and a bunch of Barry Goldwater morons that really started the Libertarian Party. And my actual the one moment that got me with the Libertarian Party, it was a Libertarian Party convention, I believe in Florida, where this big fat redheaded libertarian got up on stage and took off all of his clothes. And I was like, yep, I'm done. I was like, yep, I'm out. I'm out. And I mean, like Rand Paul, he's so libertarian, he has to run as a Republican. Thomas Maskey, so libertarian, he has to run as a Republican. The only libertarian that ever held office of any stature was Gary Johnson in Arizona, and he ran as a freaking libertarian or as a Republican. And then he, then he switched to the Libertarian Party. So I can't do libertarianism or whatever. I just can't do it. I think they will cut off their nose to spite their face. They're professional contrarians. If there's any libertarians in the chat and you want to debate that, we take phone calls. I'm happy to. But if you're so libertarian, why run as a Republican? That's my thoughts. That's where I'm at. I just, it's a binary choice right now. It is good and evil. It is Democrat, or it is pro-America and anti-America.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm kind of seeing it right now. It is, do you want to take babies' lives in the womb or not? Do you want to allow an open border or not? That's where everything is a binary choice right now, you know?
Yes.
And it's sad that we've come that far, but that's exactly the way it is, you know?
Amen.
And Paul, I don't want to keep you too long. I've got your website up, watsonwatchcompany.com. I know someone posted a question here. Do you make any special edition Trump watches, or is that something on the horizon, or what's your goals? Because you've been in business for about 4 years or 5 years, you said.
Let's see. We started in 2018. Actually, 8 years is when we started. We've been selling for 4 years. We spent about 4 years in product development and getting to market and so on. You know, I'd love to produce a Trump watch someday. You know, I think there's a lot of steps,
copyright stuff.
You know, who knows what? I don't even know what would be involved with that. But I'll tell you what we're doing, the trajectory of the business, and where we see ourselves. You know, we assemble our watches in the United States now. That's the first step to becoming USA made, right? To get the full stamp of made in the USA, it needs to not just be assembled in the USA, but you're talking about parts sourced in the USA and even movements manufactured in the USA, which is very, very difficult. And that's something that we're working towards. We want to get to, and it's hard, but we're committed to achieving that eventually. And I'm very excited for that. It could be years before we get there, but hey, man, we're going to do what we got to do to get there.
Well, Paul, I mean, you're based in Texas, right?
Right.
Is that Dallas or Houston? I couldn't remember.
Dallas area.
Dallas area. Now, do you have a store or front facing, or is this kind of all online, or do you have some
I have
shops
an office
that you're in?
I don't have like a storefront. I've got an office. If someone's in the Dallas area, they're coming through, they're welcome to reach out, and I'm happy to show them around. But all our sales are online at watsonwatch.com. You know, we have all our inventory here. I fulfill every single order, and I like to, write a note to everyone who orders. We're a small business, so we appreciate every single order we get, and we take customer service very, very seriously. If you get a Rolex, which is a fantastic watch, nothing bad to say about them, but if you have to service that watch, you're going to pay $1,000, $2,000, maybe more. We try whenever possible to do repairs or anything else for free. And if there is going to be any cost, we pass the minimum along to the customer. And you're always dealing with me, right? I'm the owner of the business, and I love to make sure that my customers are taken care of.
This reminds me of the old World War II watches is what it looks like, that face on there. I love this 250th anniversary. I saw there that you had the different bands that you can buy with that, so that you can kind of personalize it and make it your own. And I think a watch like this is something that you can buy, wear, and then pass it on, because that's who I want to eventually get this, is like a grandkid or something. I've got a daughter, and I don't think she wants to wear a tag watch, but my watch, this thing has been to the North Pole. It's been to the bottom of the ocean. It's been to Iraq. It's been to, it's been below the equator for all the flat earthers. It's been around the world, and I think you take this. I mean, I rode my Harley Davidson from London, England to Russia wearing that watch. Yeah. So, I mean, it's got some memories, and memories like that you set back and you think about, and you can pass those down to your family and share those. And I just, the reason I reached out to you, I was like, man, this guy's got an American owned business, American owned watch company. You just don't find that. There are no like somebody just, Stacy nailed it. Took words right out of my mouth. Father's Day is coming. Hint to the wife. Stacy, you're 1,000%. Stacy, I'm going to give you this.
Amen.
Boom shakalaka.
Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
I appreciate that, Stacy. Thank you for mentioning that, because I should mention our Dominion dive watch. Let me pull that up. Our fanciest, highest end watch. That's on sale for 15% off. That's our dads in grad sales. So whether you've got someone who's about to graduate or a dad, or, just for yourself, take advantage of that sale. They're 15% off. Our Watson Automatic Field Watch, which is the one we've been selling the longest, that's our first product, that's $300 off. And then the 250th anniversary edition one, you already mentioned, those are most affordable watches, $517 and $317 respectively. So we've got a whole range of pricing depending on what you can do. That's
Paul,
the back of the Dominion.
The back of this watch looks very familiar to me. Yeah. This is going to trigger a lot of people that don't like Pete Hegseth. Can you talk about this cross on the back of that?
So that's the Jerusalem cross. And this is, I'll be honest, this is inspired by Pete Hegseth. So the Jerusalem cross is a symbol that goes all the way back to at least the 10 or 1100s. It was used in the Crusades. And if you know me and you know my brand, we stand for good. We stand for God. We stand for our country. And if you don't know this, Islam has been at war with the West since it first came into existence. It's been at war with Christianity. It's been at war with the United States since it came into existence. The Barbary pirates were Muslim pirates who attacked American ships as soon as we declared independence. The U.S. Navy, right, the actual U.S. Navy post the Revolutionary War, came into existence in order to fight the Barbary pirates. And so Pete Hegseth, he had this tattoo, the Jerusalem cross on his chest, and he was actually called a Christian extremist and was precluded from serving at the inauguration, right, with his unit because of that. And I love that he stood for his values. He literally wore his values on his chest, and he was castigated for that. He was persecuted for that. And it's one of the reasons that Donald Trump chose him to be the Secretary of Defense, now Secretary of War, which is a great name change. I love that, because he knew this is a man who had stood for his values and had stood up against the giant bureaucratic machine that look, if we love having been in the military, we love being veterans, but we all know that it is a giant, soulless bureaucratic machine. And Pete Hegseth had stood up against it. And that's exactly the kind of man he needed to run that organization. And that's the exact kind of spirit we need as Americans, is not only to stand up against soulless bureaucracy, but to stand for something. We stand for God, and we stand against evil ideologies like Islam and leftism and communism and all the rest.
I like on the back here, and I hope that people can see that, Genesis 1:28, be fruitful and multiply. And I'm sure that I know that's the off the top of my head, that's what I remember from Genesis 1:28. And full disclosure, Pete Hegseth used to be my boss, so I am very pleased with this. I might have just upgraded what I'm going to buy myself now. Okay,
take a look at that. That's
I know.
I've watched. I want to tell you on Genesis 1:28 that the whole verse, it says, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living thing that moves on the earth." And so that dive watch is the Dominion dive watch. And what I want to encourage people with this watch is to take dominion. This is the first command from God: be fruitful and multiply and take dominion. Don't just sit back and wait for life to happen. Don't just sit back and wait for our country to get better. Hopefully it gets better. Get on your knees and pray, and get out there and do something for your country, for your family, for your community. It depends on us.
It's funny. I just brought up a comment there from one of my channel sponsors. His name is Anton. He is South African. He owns a business just outside of Dallas. He makes biltong, which is like a air dried meat, prosciutto type of meat. I'm going to put you in contact with Anton, and he escaped apartheid, which is what basically the people in Iran are being subjected to. We don't really know what's happening because they're on like day 77 of no internet. But you're right. Our founding fathers came to the United States and took dominion over this land that we have here. And I think we have to we have to honor them by keeping dominion over the United States and over everything that our founding fathers built. And
Amen.
Paul, I'm glad to have you on the show, man. I know we've talked about you coming on. You've been busy, probably traveling. I'm busy with work. And Paul, I'm going to put a link in the description for everyone that they can reach out to you, and like you're chief head cook and chief bottle washer. So everybody's going to be contacting you directly.
Yeah.
So I will definitely make sure to do that. And I love the Dominion. I do, but I don't know. There's just something about that 250th anniversary with that red, white, and blue band that I just like it, Paul. I just like that watch. Paul, is there anything you'd like to say on before I let you go here?
Well, I just really appreciate you having me on, Ben. I appreciate everyone listening. And I love what you talk about on here. It's great to keep everyone informed on what's going on in Iran and all the rest. I would just encourage people, just the very last thing, my last call to action here. I mentioned earlier, May 17th is a national day of prayer. Be in prayer for our nation. I really mean it when I say that national humbling before God and repentance is the most consequential thing that could happen here. And so just join me and others in prayer on that day. And I hope you and I get to talk again soon, Ben.
Paul, we will definitely chat again soon. I'm proud of what you're doing. I love seeing other veterans be successful. I absolutely love it. My job, my full-time job, I'm a veteran service officer. I see veterans struggling. Some of my most amazing success stories is whenever I pick up a phone and I'm like, hey, I've got an awesome vet here that's looking for a job, and I've made a lot of contacts, and I get a vet a job. I get them back to being a part of something bigger than themselves, being part of that team, because that's what we miss after leaving the military. We don't miss being away from home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays. We miss that camaraderie. I helped a vet about a month ago. He just finished his police training. He's now a deputy sheriff here. Nice. And he's back serving his community after serving his country. And he was a Marine, so we had to hide the crayons from him. I think red was his favorite color. For some reason, he thought they were watermelon or something like that, But Paul, I really want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Somebody said what's the website again? It's scrolling right at the bottom of the screen, wassonwatch.com. And Paul, can you tell them where you came up with the name Wasson? Can you?
Yeah, no, thank you. My great-grandfather, his name was Harold Wasson. And he was born in the late 1800s in Iowa. He was a mining engineer. World War I rolled around. He joined the U.S. Army, became a captain. I don't know how he became a captain so fast. The ranking must have been different back then. But he goes to France, comes back, becomes a petroleum engineer, and travels all over Latin America buying up land and selling it to big oil companies. And then he ended up contributing to a book called Strategic Materials and Hemisphere Defense, in which he made the argument that the Axis would be unable to win because of their limited access to petroleum reserves globally. And that did end up being a major strategic hindrance to them. And so I love that, my great-grandfather's life encompassed things like military service, travel, adventure, entrepreneurship, engineering, strategy, right? Business ownership, all of these things. And he was a hard worker, and he was an intelligent man. And I wanted that name embodied a bunch of different things I wanted to really embody in the brand. And of course, if you look at the logo, it's a castle in the shape of a W, which, obviously for Wasson. But even though we don't know exactly what he did in the U.S. Army, I know he was in engineering when he went in and came out. And so I think he may have been in the Army Corps of Engineers. And if you're familiar with that, the Army Corps of Engineers insignia,
that's their symbol.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So,
have you ever pulled his military records through archives?
I have. I've pulled what I can. And I have somewhere I've got his enlistment sort of paperwork, but I don't have his full records. Last time I tried to do a records pull, it said there'd been some fire in the 70s that destroyed a warehouse.
70s, that's right.
You have to go some other route, and I haven't followed up on that. It would be cool if I could find out someday a little bit more about.
Paul, I'm really good friends with a federal senator here that is on the House Armed Services Committee, and I will I'll put you in Connect. He has a way of making things happen with records like that.
That would be
I did the same thing. I grabbed a photo of my grandfather here. My grandfather was a World War II veteran. Here he is. He was a belly gunner on B-29s.
wow.
And I didn't know a whole lot about his career because he didn't talk about it. He was missing part of his hand.
Yeah.
But after I got into the job that I was in and I could get access to that stuff, I pulled his records. He had 2 Purple Hearts and a couple of and 2 Bronze Stars.
Wow.
And he was a belly gunner flying in and out of northern England, doing air raids over Germany. And at the time, the planes had 2 crews, sort of a day crew and a night crew. And the day crew went out, came back. He was in the little belly pod thing and was trying to clean it. It was an open bolt gun and there was a round in there. The round went off and he lost half of his hand. So his crew went out that night while he was in the infirmary or whatever, and they never came back. So by the grace of God, I mean, it's a miraculous story, but I keep that there. And, you know, I'm just so proud of his service. I never met those expectations or that level of experience, but it's really good whenever you can put pieces together. Paul, I'm going to let you go, man. I really want to say thank you. You are welcome back anytime. I feel like you're a brother in arms, literally, with what you're doing and with your business. Brother. And we wish you all the success. I'm going to, Paul, Anton said, Paul, if you get in touch with me, I'll send you some biltong. I need to connect you two.
Yes,
he's got a great business. I will. Absolutely. Paul, you take care. God bless you. I really appreciate you. You take care and have a great night. Okay, sir?
You too, Ben. God bless you. Thank you.
Take care, Paul. Have a great one. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that was Paul Wasson Watch Company. And I am so glad that he's been on here. It's so nice to see a fellow veteran like being successful and doing something that they're passionate about. Paul, you could hear him talking, is very passionate about God, his faith, his country, the success and the direction of the country. I mean, it doesn't get any better than supporting a business like this. You know, we've had all of these things that, you know, the go woke, go broke, you know, that kind of stuff. And you could tell just by talking or listening to Paul that he's not like that. He is, what you see is what you get. And I think I couldn't get it set up to take phone calls at the same time. Somebody just sent me a photo of their cross, their Jewish cross there. So we are going to take some calls here tonight. I'd really like to take some calls, get some questions, comments, concerns, and we'll kind of keep the language toned down. But I'd really like to talk to some people about what is going on in the country, what is going on across the world, what we're seeing in Iran, what we're seeing in, I mean, Israel and Lebanon have already started kicking it back off. Do you offer a women's watch in the 250th anniversary selection? I'd like one for myself. You know, Proud American, I believe they do a smaller size. It's a smaller size on there. And if you check that website, Wasson Watch Company, I guarantee you, and Paul will be able to let you know better than I would. I'm going to grab some calls here. 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Love to talk to you. I know I've been super busy. I got a lot going on. I got a family. We got a farm. It's been crazy. I'll just say that. But the lines are open. If you've got anything you would like to say, anything you'd like to share, feel free. And I saw a comment earlier by, who was that? Gear Rat. Oh, man, I can't tell you. Let's go Cary, Ohio. What do you got, Cary?
Hey, Ben, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing amazing, Cary. It's nice to talk to a fellow veteran that is pushing back on the current state of chaos. He's not playing games with the Democrats. He's not scared of sharing his faith, which I think a lot of people are sometimes scared into silence. And Paul's not one of those guys. And he's a Marine. You heard about his grandfather being a combat vet and
yes, sir,
in the war. So, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be able to support a business like that. Cary, what would you like to say?
I think he was a great guy, and I would have to say that I agree with him 99%. Part I don't agree with is I don't think that China and Russia and Islam are all together, because Islam hates everybody, man. But I think that what I need to tell you about China is that China, we're all paying for our own demise. Anything that you buy from China, the money goes to all these crazy people out there that are all against us, and we need to stop doing that. I believe that Americans need to stand together and push back against all of them. Islam's against us. They hate us. The Chinese, the Chinese in subtle ways and not so subtle ways are really out to get us. What we need to do is put a tariff on them and not buy anything from them. And I'm sorry for rambling, but go ahead, brother.
No, I think you're right. At some point, we have to start moving towards more independence. I don't know how we get there when we have companies like Walmart and other organizations that continue to buy goods and services from China. But I think our best chance at starting that independence is with the current president that we have, because no other president's pushed back on Iran or China like this guy has. Kerry, it's been a long time. Haven't heard from you. Thank you for tuning back in. I really appreciate your time. God bless you,
God bless you, and God bless Donald Trump.
God bless Donald Trump. Take care, Kerry. Kerry kicked us off with a great phone call. Y'all got some big boots to fill. If you're going to follow up on that, let's go right here. Line 2, go right ahead.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Amazing. What would you like to say?
It was a great show, Ben. I just thought it ironic that they have trouble with like Hegseth and the cross tattoo and the cross on the watch, but these people are excited to vote for a guy that's got swastikas all over him.
But he covered it up. He covered it up, right? He covered it up.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, here's the other
background.
thing. Here's the other thing. Now, there's a lot of people that don't agree with tattoos. Biblically, they might take that stance. I've got tattoos. I'm not perfect. He who has, never sinned, cast the first stone. But it's funny, people will push back about people with tattoos. They won't say a word about the people that are chopping off appendages of kids. I'm going to let you go. We got a lot of static there. You take care, brother. Take care.
Great show. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling. Make sure you turn down whatever you're calling in on before you call, because I'll just hang up. Let's go right here. Line 3.
Yes, Mr. Dykes. All I can say is things are hard. It's very hard times. I'm retired. I'm 69, but I'm staying the course. I'm hanging with President Trump no matter what. I'm for the long haul, sir.
Let me ask you this.
Very much.
Let me ask you this quick question, then I'll let you go. You have lived through harder times. Would you agree with that?
Yes. So,
right
yes,
now.
I was in gas lines back in the 70s. Yes.
You were in gas lines. Absolutely. I think the definition of hard times has decreased. I don't think people understand what hard time. I think the fastest way for somebody to say hard times, if their cell phone or their internet goes out, that's when people freak out. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir. Or if it takes them more than 5 minutes to get their burger from the Whopper place.
You bet you're right. Take care. God bless you. Great call. Great call, man. We got some good super chats rolling here. China's at Trump Mercury at this point. Okay, cool. Special edition Trump watch. He talked about that. That would be something easy to donate to vets. I like what you did there, Texas. I see the aviator emblem. I got you. Okay, you did it. You did it. Okay, let me give him a boom shakalaka. Okay.
Hallelujah.
You did it. I see what you did.
Boom shakalaka.
All right, lines are open, 615-475. Let's go Troll Under the Bridge. What do you got, Troll?
Good evening, everybody. I think Trump's going to be safe and just fine in China right now. For one, China's buying a bunch of oil right now. We have them pinned economically almost to the point of an existential economic collapse. And if anything did happen to Trump, you can bet that there's some of your old buddies down there underneath the water ready to do what they got to do. And
I really don't think anything out of the way happens, because Donald Trump, there is very, very good intel that Trump
Yes.
has already left a course of actions that would make a lot of people glow like the face of that watch if something happens to him.
Yeah.
Troll, thank you for calling, brother.
I see a big deal coming along the lines too, because Putin is supposed to be over there either at the same time or right after Trump leaves. So I imagine a big deal possibly could be happening.
God bless you. Take care, brother. Let's go here. MWP, what do you got?
Hey, Mr. Dykes, thanks for taking my call. Listen, what you said really hit home. Maybe it's my own fault. I'm a single dad. My daughter, she's 14 years old. The only thing she complains about is, social media and what friends think about her and what people she don't even know thinks about her. And it weakens society, social media, all this stuff. And then one more comment. I wanted to ask you this, sir. Trump always he's a man with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's lined this up to say, okay, well, look, I'm going to act like I'm doing this, but on the other hand, I might be doing this? What do you think, sir? I mean, as far as Iran is concerned, do you think he's playing 4D chess? What do you think, sir?
I believe, and you can call me crazy or whatever, I believe he has planned this to the second that he's going to be in China negotiating with Xi Jinping. Someone is going to come in, whisper in Trump's ear, just like they did to George W. Bush in the elementary school. And he's going to say something to the guy, and they're going to say something to Trump's ear, or they're going to hand him an iPad, and he gets to watch some massive airstrike sitting at the table with Xi Jinping. That's my opinion.
I believe you're right.
That's
Thank
my
you, sir.
opinion. Take care, brother. I appreciate you calling. Let's see here. I got a comment here. Let me address this. I don't know what this is. Let's see here. That was really fast. You could have sent it to me through Telegraph. Here's faster. There you go. There's faster. If you want to come on my show and complain, it's never good. I don't deal with trolls very well. And if you want to complain, my complaints department is really, really quick on the flusher. Really quick on the flusher. If you want to call in, you have every opportunity to. I don't see all the comments. They're flying. I try to read the comments that I find that are relevant, but I don't do well with I'll just be nice tonight. You guys know I need to be nice. I need to be nice. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to get a call into me. I've got the balls to take the calls. How about that? Let's go. Right there. What do you got, brother? Grim Rat.
Hey, Mr. Van Dyke.
What's going on, brother? Long time no see.
Yeah, brother, I'll tell you, you got to quit hiding like that in that grass. You're too short for that.
Man, I've been busy. We've got cows, we got horses, we got babies on the ground, Mother's Day, wife's birthday, work. I've been busier than Hunter Biden at a $1 stripper night or something,
yeah,
I've been
you've
busy.
been busier than Hunter Biden at a paint gallery with a bunch of lines in front of him.
What else would you like to say tonight, Grimrath? You're always entertaining. What you got?
Well, everybody says Trump don't have a plan. Trump don't have a plan. Good God, that man's had a plan his entire goddamn life. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Life. And, shoot, you can go back and pull up tape of him back in 86 saying the same damn thing.
You're absolutely right.
Glass parking lot, glass parking lot, glass parking lot. And we don't want to kill the good people. We want to just annihilate the regime so the good people can rise and take their country back.
I think that's why. I think if there's anything preventing, Grimrath, I'm going to hang up on you here, but I agree with you 1,000%. Thank you for calling, brother. I believe that is the one thing that has prevented this president from taking unilateral destruction is he doesn't take the loss of life lightly. Now, Obama different equation. Joe probably couldn't spell the word life, but I don't believe this current president takes it lightly. Okay, let's address this. Just wanted you're going to, if my number's at the top of the screen, if you want to call in, call in. I'm not going to have that. You're not going to insult me on my show. You might do that on your own, but we don't play like that here. Let me call this guy. He said he had something he wanted to discuss. Let's see what he's got here. Let's break this down. Maneuvering
divers
con.
working over the side. Do not blow or vent from any tanks. Do not activate sonar.
God.
There are divers working over the side.
I hated writing divers tags. Oh my gosh. I hated it. Maneuvering con, what is injection temperature tonight down there in Tennessee where you're at?
Sonar maneuvering. Seawater inject temperature is a cool 77 degrees.
What would you like to say tonight, brother?
Well, I did a thing. And I think your audience is going to love it. So, as you know, I called in on the Thresher anniversary. But we passed another anniversary a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And when that happens, I tend to look into documentaries and things like that. And I got inspired. I got inspired watching Zero Dark 30, Operation Neptune Spear. And I'm like, man, I got to put together an Osama bin Laden raid video. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, Ben knows Rob.
Rob's a good buddy of mine.
Well, I made an intro video for his podcast, and I would love it if you would premiere it to your audience, maybe send it along to Rob. All I would ask for in return from Rob is a simple follow and a share on Twitter. That's all I would like.
I'll send it to him. I'm kind of hesitant about the Twin Towers thing there. YouTube is always very skeptical of that, but I'll see how it works. Absolutely. Why not? Let's roll it. You want me to roll it now, or what do y'all think?
I'll hang up. You do what you need to do. Just do me a favor. Keep it quarter screen or smaller. That way, if he uses it, your channel doesn't get pinged. And feel free to talk over it too.
Okay. Let me put this to a vote with the chat. Let's see if the chat wants to see this, because I believe it was May the 12th. No, not May the 12th. It was it May the 2nd? No. I've got to go back and think. But do you all want to see okay, I've got to ban someone and I hate to, but I just can't allow the drama in the chat. But hey, you know how that is. Let's ask the chat. Do you want to see the intro video made by a nuke? A very I miss saying those damn nukes. I really miss saying that. I miss it, man.
I miss my weapons chiefs because you just walk in the chiefs quarters. There's always 4 of them sitting on the ass.
Yeah.
Never
I
let
agree.
some 4 weapons chiefs in there.
All right, let's see what the chat says. If they want to see
looking pretty positive.
It's looking positive. Okay, we got a 98% positive. Only two Democrats voted no. I think we've got 4 now. I think we roll it. After we get off this call, I'm going to roll it.
It cleared all copyright checks. I sent the screenshot of
good,
YouTube's approval, gave me a thumbs up. I DM'd you the screenshot on Twitter.
I will reach out to Rob after this. I'll send it to him and I'll tell him some effing nuke made this, and please share. How about that?
Make sure you let him know. I'm a genuine. All right.
I will.
And
absolutely.
Believe it or not, story for a different day. I actually went through my Chiefs initiation with SDV Team 2.
Oh, the little shellback on the back of those boats. Absolutely. Well, good for you. I'll tell you what. I had a guy.
Life, man.
I had a guy that just reached out to me yesterday. Follows me on my channel. You'll like this. He's a JO on the USS Florida 728.
No kidding.
He's a JO. He qualified as an enlisted guy on the Jimmy Carter, went to the got commissioned. I don't know if he went academy or whatever. He was just in DC doing his engineering qualification interview, I guess is where they do.
Mm-hmm. And he's screening for department head.
That's what he's doing. Yeah.
Yep.
And he reached out to me and wanted some help.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if I was one of his instructors when he was enlisted. More than likely, I went through a lot of students up in Charleston. But I'll let you go, get some other callers in here, and you're going to love this video. There are 2 F-bombs at the end.
We don't care.
It's Rob talking like a sailor, but it's a lot of hoo-ya, and I appreciate you helping me out, bro.
I'll tell you what was really funny is the night that we had this big gala, and at the gala, I got to sit at the table with Rob and Superman.
Yep.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I got to sit with those. I was sitting at the big boy table. You know what I mean? I was sitting at the big boy table. Well, let me get this up here. I'm going to play this. There's a lot of people that are, I think, pretty happy about this. So let's roll it. Okay.
Enjoy, everybody. Follow
Take
on
care, man. I can't wait. And this is
more.
on your X page. Is that right? Is that where it's at?
Yep.
I see it right here.
It's my pin tweet.
Gotcha. We're rolling it. Take care. I'll hang up
Thanks.
and we'll watch this together. Perfect.
Thanks, bro.
All right, let's go. All right, let's stand by to stand by is all I got to say. Let's go here and let's go here. And how do we get to the big screen? Okay, let me hide the comments here. And no, I did go to Great Lakes. Ivory and Ebony show. I don't know why you want to come in here and be like this, man. I think we're fighting the same fight, but hey, you know, I've got the clicker, so be nice. Let's roll it.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
Found him in the mirror, no cape on my back, just a vision getting clearer. Face my fear closer, I stand up tall, yeah, I turn into a soldier. But nobody showed up, so I built my own strength, the world slowed up. From dark to the light, I rose up. Now the hero I needed, he finally showed up.
What you've been told, however, this course is not impossible. People grab it. Look at me. I'm living proof.
I was lost in the night, no direction, no guide. Every door closed tight, every hope denied. Try to looking outside, but there's nowhere to hide. When the war in your mind got you trapped inside. People talk big, but they vanish when it's real. When the weight hits your chest and the pain you can't feel. Had to learn on my own, had to sharpen my wheel. Turn a broken mindset into something to steal. Every scar that I got, yeah, carved at the man. Every loss that I took wasn't part of the plan, but it built up the strength that I didn't understand. If I move with a purpose, now I know who I am. No secret came through, no hand to hold. Had to walk through the fire in the freezing cold. Now my story written in the pain I control. Gotta wait for a hero. I become what I'm told. I need a hero. I found him in the mirror, no cape on my back, just a vision getting clearer. I need a hero. Face my fear closer. I stand up tall, yeah, I turn into a soldier. Every morning I wake with a mission in mind. No more running from pain, no more wasting my time. Had to cut out the doubt, leave the fear from behind. Now I step in my truth, yeah, I walk in my prime. Every waiting for rescue, I'll be building a plan. No excuses allowed, I'll be coming the man. Every move that I make, got a dent in the stand. I'ma fight for my life with everything that I can. Used to hope for a change, so I make it up here. Used to drown in the noise, now I silence the fear. Every tear that I shed got me stronger each year. Now I look in the mirror and the vision is clear. No more wishes for help, I don't need it no more. I'm the force that I lack, I'm the strength that I swore. Every battle I fought, just to lift a new door. Never rise from the ashes, stronger than before. I need a hero. I found him in the mirror, no cape on my back, just a vision getting clearer. I need a hero. Face my fear closer, I stand up tall, yeah, I turn into a soldier.
Task Force 160 from Night Stalker. They're the best of them. The Army helicopter pilots are the best helicopter pilots in the world. And we got the best for it. And we're lucky we did.
I walk through the storm like I own the rain. Every step that I take, built from pressure and pain. No more looking for help, I done broke every chain. Now I carry my weight like nothing to gain. But respect for myself in the cold that I live. Every drop of my sweat, every ounce that I give. Built the man that I am from the life that I live. Now I stand unbreakable, that's the power I get. To the version of me that was lost in the past. To the kid in the dark who was fading too fast. On the proof you can change, you can build, you can last. From the pain and the purpose, the old and the past. If you searching for hope, fill apart, just see there's a hero inside. If you dare to be free, I don't need nobody else to come rescue me. I needed a hero, and I break like I need a hero. I need a hero.
When we came over the radio for God and Country, Geronimo. Yeah.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world. The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
And I see the clip coming from my nods. And he said, take one of mine. Now you know what it feels like to be a fucking hero.
That is the fucking American badass you have there.
We are not going for fame, and we are not going for bravado. We are going
for the single mom who dropped her kids off at elementary school on a Tuesday morning, and then 45 minutes later, she jumped to her death out of a skyscraper.
If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
I'm Rob O'Neill, and this is the Operator Podcast.
Wow. That's pretty powerful stuff there. That is a very powerful clip, and I'd love to get your opinion on that for anyone that's watching. Wow. That is Plastic Cup Politics. I will make sure that Rob gets that. That is man, I don't know what to say. It takes me back because I remember exactly where I was at for 9/11. I remember where I was at when Osama bin Laden was killed. And I think we're all going to remember where we were at when the next big move happens. I'm in a very weird position because, or fortunate position. I've had the honor of making friends with some real heroes that I've worked with, to include Rob, that, took out bin Laden. And I've also become friends with a guy that his unit found Saddam Hussein. And those guys, I don't think those guys know each other personally, but to be able to be friends with somebody like that is amazing. To be able to share some stories like that and share some I don't know. That is a powerful, powerful video. I will make sure that Rob gets that. You have my word on that for sure. The lines are open, 615-475. Let's go here. Line 2, kick us off. That's a hell of a video to call in after. What do you got?
Oh,
yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, watching that brought back painful memories, but it also ticks me off that we've got a Muslim mayor in New York City right now running.
Where do you live at?
City down.
Where do you live?
Durant, Iowa.
Durant, Iowa. Okay. I really appreciate you calling. We're all disgusted by this as well. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Line 3, go right ahead.
Hey, Ben, how's it going?
Amazing. What you got, sir?
The clip was awesome, by the way. Back whenever, I remember whenever 9/11 happened, and I was just coming in the house from outside, didn't know what was going on. My mother was watching it. And then I remember later on, whenever Obama was running for office, and at first he was claiming to be Muslim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember part ways, it wasn't working out too well for him, so he started claiming to be Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he got in office, suddenly he was Muslim again.
Yeah.
And one of his first speeches that he gave, he apologized to the Muslim people for how they were treated over 9/11.
There are rumors, this is a long-standing rumor, that the money that he sent to Iran was basically reparations for what the Americans did to those people after 9/11. That is a rumor, and I can't confirm it.
Well, I wasn't surprised because I knew as soon as he was calling himself Muslim before he said he was Christian and Muslim again, that I knew what he was then. And when he got up on that podium and he started apologizing and calling us a Muslim nation and apologizing for how they were treated during 9/11, in my opinion, he should have been knocked off of that podium on his ass in the grass immediately. And before the imprint of the grass could fade, he should have been out of the country.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling.
You don't disgrace 3,000 people in our country sympathizing with terrorists after you just got the office. I mean,
I agree.
That should have been a no-go right then and there.
Well, thank you for calling, sir. Thank you for the passion. Thank you for your pride in the country as well. God bless you. lot of people don't know this. This is 25th anniversary of 9/11, 25th anniversary. It's also the 30th anniversary of Khobar Towers. June 25th is the 30th anniversary of Khobar Towers. 5 years after Khobar Towers, we had the Twin Towers. Coincidence? If you want to believe in coincidences, you go right ahead. I don't. I do not believe in that. I also don't believe in it was a coincidence that Benghazi also happened on 9/11. And do you know what? I mean, here's the real reason, in my opinion, it occurred on 9/11. In America, whenever an emergency happens, what is the phone number that you dial? 911. And I believe that they sent a message using that 911 as to, like, that's the emergency call. That was their call of an emergency to, whatever they believe in or whoever they believe in. Let's go line 3. Go.
Hey, Ben.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to let you know, Dave the Patriot here, calling back, USMC. Wanted to let you know.
Simplify, brother. Simplify.
Hey, I believe that 9/11 was an inside job, and I think a lot of my brothers believe the same damn thing now. And I just wanted to know what you thought.
At what level do you think the inside job? At what level?
Well, I mean, I was watching live, man, and I overheard comms on the fire call, and the fire guy actually said, "We got demolitions in here. We got demolitions in here," and then he went silent, and then next thing you know, the building's going down.
I don't know. I was stationed
And they buried that.
I was stationed in London, England when
Okay.
9/11 happened. So I don't know that. I don't have that answer, but that's where I was at.
And it fell too perfectly down, like straight down, and there's just no way that a plane would geometrically fucking, pardon my language, handle that. It would actually go through like that and cause it to melt. So yeah, it's just, to me, like, don't get me wrong, I love the video and I love what you do and I love all of America, but there's a deep dark side to America that we don't really want to talk about too much on your station, but it's real there, man. I got a buddy, a captain, that was loading up, drugs over on the, he was watching people that were loading drugs up on C-130s from Afghanistan.
Sure.
And he quit, and I'm just like, that's part of our nation too. Like, we're the greatest, but we're also, we're part of the problem.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're perfect, but we're the greatest goddamn country in the world.
We are the absolute fucking greatest. I still love America and what it stands for, but I just know that we got some corruption that we need to.
Let me
really
ask you
take
this
care
as
of.
well. Let me ask you this. You like steak?
Yeah.
What's your favorite cut of steak?
Fucking prime, man.
Prime rib? Yeah. Okay.
Prime rib, yeah.
You can't get prime rib unless you get a little blood on your hands. Period.
It's true, man. It's true. I think, honestly, the way that the Hormuz thing is going, it's pretty perfection. I think Trump's a good planner, and I love what he does. But, just understand that there's always that option, and to paint it glass, or at least before you do that, send the Marines in. I'm all for just sending the Marines in. I don't know a lot of Marines that are like for it, that have been through it all the time, and what they had to do was pretty bad. But just overall, we all know.
What
Marines
did
get
you
sent in, shit gets
did
done.
you serve? I didn't catch it. If you did, I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, sure. USMC,
That's right.
through LAR.
You said that.
Yeah, save some people over there in the in the desert.
What do you think about this 30th anniversary of Khobar Towers coming up? Nobody talks about that.
Well, I know no one wants to talk about it because they don't put it together. But yeah, there might be something, dude. I believe the false flags have meaning, and I think we might see another one here soon.
I mean,
Maybe
nobody
even while
talks
Trump's over
about
there.
nobody talks about the Marine barracks in Lebanon.
No, they don't. They just forget us, man.
I mean, it is. That was October of '83. That was in Lebanon. I want to say there were 220 Marines. I'm sure I'm off.
Yeah,
there.
219 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling, brother. I appreciate your time.
You
God
bet.
bless
Semper Fi.
you.
Good
Semper
job,
Fi.
buddy.
Semper Fi. There we go. I was personally in the Strait of Hormuz when the USS Cole got attacked. FQIL hat. God bless you. Definitely thermite. I I don't know much about thermite. 219 Grimwrath. Thank you. Lines are open. 615. I forgot my phone number there for a second. 475-7864. Great calls tonight. Great calls tonight. Don't forget Tanzania. You're right about that. Let's go to my guitar man, Tommy.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Amazing.
Listen, the guy just spoke. I gotta disagree, and because the idea of America itself doesn't have any darkness. America is a great idea and a great culture, and people are all dark a little bit. Groups of people are darker, and bigger groups are even darker. And of course, there's that in America. There's that everywhere. But listen, you know where I was 9/11 at 8 a.m.?
You were probably flying a plane, Tommy.
No, I was number 2 for runway 04 in LaGuardia.
Wow.
Jetstream for US Air Express.
Holy shit.
I was downwind to 04 at LaGuardia, where I was based for 2 years. I saw it from the side quartering windscreen of my cockpit.
Whoa.
And how does he know that there weren't? Listen, I also lived during that time, I lived in Sarasota, and I flight instructed on the side at Venice Airport, just a little field. And those guys trained there. I was an instructor there when they trained there. I didn't instruct them. They were primary. But how does he know that there weren't terrorists that set charges in the towers weeks, months before? Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, all that crap that they hear is just hearsay and conjecture. But I saw those things fall with my own eyes, and it was stuck there for quite a while in LaGuardia.
Tommy, thank you for calling, brother.
All right, brother. You have a great night, everyone.
I appreciate you. Appreciate your support. God bless you. You stay out of trouble. Let's go here. Lori in Phoenix. What do you got? Lori, go ahead.
Hi. I just wanted to say real quick.
I can barely hear you. It sounds like you're talking in a bucket.
Okay, so
you're gonna have to call back with I can't hear you. It sounds like you're talking like your head is in a 5-gallon bucket.
Hi, if you record your name.
That's what it sounded like. Sound like you were in a 5-gallon bucket. Call back. Green Acres. Climb up on the roof. Climb up on the roof. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living's what's right for me. Thanks for sharing, Ben. Sincerely appreciate it. I just sent that to Rob personally. I sent it to him. So there you go. Let's go here. Line 5. We're getting down the scoreboard. What do you got?
Hey, Ben. This is Carl from Wisconsin.
Carl in Wisconsin. You got me some squeaky cheese?
Yeah, I love squeaky cheese.
I do too. Send me some squeaky cheese.
What
do you got?
I'll tell you what, buddy. There's a lot of things. I talked to the guys that helped build the Twin Towers.
Okay.
I delivered a lot of crane parts to them. There's no way that building should have went down unless it was demolition. And I got another one to tell you.
Sure.
I was on the on the SS Badger going across Lake Michigan.
Okay.
And the lady was on, my wife and me were right behind this older lady that was on her phone. She was texting so fast. I seen something about Hillary, and I says, that frickin' lying bitch. I says, number one, she should have never been there. She shouldn't have been held with Benghazi. She lied. And the older lady turned around and told me, you're absolutely right. I gave her the information. And I says, what? She says, my husband and me are foreign service officers over there. We lived in Jerusalem for a long time. And she says, and I quit because she lied.
Well, thank you for calling.
You bet your buddy.
I appreciate you sharing that. God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, we got some great calls tonight. We got some good ones. Iran deploys combat ready mini subs in Hormuz. So we send a Trident D5 capability. We've got some SSGNs over there. We've got some Virginia class over there, and they roll out some midget subs. Okay. Looks like just an hour ago, I've got to share this. We need to get caught up a little bit on what's actually happening. An hour ago, the United Arab Emirates launched a counterstrike against Iran that crippled their oil refinery. This is Lavon Island, Iran. We need to pull that up and find where Lavon Island is. Where is Lavon Island? We need to find this because this could have some very, very heavy implications. Lavon Island, Iran. Okay. So that is, whoa. Okay. The UAE has just shots fired is all I want to say. Shots have been fired here. Lavon Island is very, very close. We got to get rid of the banner here, and then I'm going to take some calls after this, but this is huge news. Lavon Island is right here. Okay, you see this? Lavon Island Oil Refinery. You see this? This is Lavon Island. Look where Lavon Island is. The UAE just lit this place up. Lavon Island is way past the Strait of Hormuz, and Karg Island is here. So the UAE has hit Lavon Island. You can see these 4 circles here, these 4 yellow circles. The UAE has said to hell with it. We're hitting their refinery, and it looks like they hit an airstrip, which is, this is huge. Look at this. They just cut into their capabilities of storing oil. Let's go to this article right here, this Lavon Island attack. UAE launched secret counterstrike. I love it that they don't tell anybody. Look at the devastation here. Look at that. Wow. They're not messing around. Wow. Okay, let's go here. I want to see this as well. Let's go right here. Okay, and news right up here on the top right. Iran is now retaliating with strikes on targets in Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE. Look at the damage here. This is huge. You see the image there? This is a big deal, guys. A really big deal. That is, whew. Okay. So much noise for the ceasefire. Yeah. Ceasefire retaliation. And this is the UAE that's doing this. I kind of knew something was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen this quickly. I didn't think it would happen while the president is basically in transit to China. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. This changes a lot of things. A lot. With the UAE dropping warheads on foreheads over there. Damn, we don't have control over the UAE. The UAE just left OPEC. The UAE left OPEC. The UAE is the enemy of our is our friend. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Get your calls in for 615-475-7864. Love to talk to you. Let me know what you think about this. We have no bananas today. Okay, good. Line 2, go right ahead. Yes, sir. Yeah, I sure am. Go right ahead.
Hey, Ben. Hey, I just want to say, we're indirectly funding Iran and all these terrible people that don't like us so much.
We are funding Iran?
Indirectly.
How are we funding Iran? How are we funding Iran?
Well, we keep buying Chinese products, and they keep buying their oil with our money.
But their oil is cut off right now, so they're not buying anything from them.
Right now, yes. Historically, we're somewhat responsible for that. We need to be more conscientious who we do business with.
Okay. Thank you for calling. God bless you. Okay. Gotcha. Lines are open. 615-475-7864. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. Bring the fire. Bring the heat. Great video. Thank you for sharing. Omar will be sad she won't have her bananas and rice today. Yeah. Straw man argument. That's a good point there, Winston. Great point. Wonder where old Johnny was tonight. Looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene has moved to Costa Rica. She has taken her congressional retirement and moved to Costa Rica. I say don't move back. Don't come back. Here we go. Marjorie Taylor Greene is posting images of her new house in Costa Rica. What are your thoughts on that one? Salty Crackers trolling her. Can we get some salt in the chat, please? Salt in the chat. We need more salt. We need more salt. But I'm glad to see her gone. I really don't care if she ever comes back. Hit the road, Jack. Don't come back. No mo, no mo, no mo. I hope you start working as a lot lizard. It'd be my best job for you. Possibility of operation to retrieve Iran's enriched uranium appears to rise as negotiations sputter. Trump and Netanyahu made comments in the last 24 hours that point to a possible high-risk operation to snatch Iran's nuclear material. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that is a real possibility. I could do a what if on this all night, but we've done crazier stuff. Sending troops into Iran to retrieve its highly enriched uranium. His comments follow words, same topic. They've both talked about this. That's exactly right. Trump claims Iran rescinded a previous officer inviting the U.S. to come in and remove all enriched uranium from the country. They said you're going to have to take it. We were going to go with them, but they changed their minds. Okay. Trump on the enriched uranium. Well, we'll get it at some point. We have surveilled it. I did a thing called Space Force. I want to see this clip. I have not seen this. Let's go here. I want to see this clip here. I want to see what the old Trumpinator's up to right here. Let's see.
Where are we in the war if we've not yet gotten the nuclear materials, the enriched uranium from them?
Well, we'll get that at some point, whatever we want. We have it surveilled. You know, I did a thing called Space Force, and they are watching that if somebody walked in, they can tell you his name, his address, the number of his badge. No, we have that very well surveilled. If anybody got near the place, we will know about it, and we'll blow them up.
Ooh, that's I kind of voted for that. I don't know about you. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no if you voted for that, because that's what I voted for. Another thing I wanted to show you here. Here's a little blast from the past for some of these people. Let's go right here. For those of you that have never had the chance to jump off the sail on a 688 submarine, just be jealous. Just let your jealousy flow through you. Let the jealousy flow through you.
Where?
Let the jealousy flow. Yes. I got to watch that again.
Where?
There's nothing like swimming in the ocean when it's like, I don't know, 500 fathoms deep, right? There's just nothing like that. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Look at them squids. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We had a fat cook on one of my boats. He did a belly flop like nobody's business. He was like the belly flopper champion of the world. He was belly flopper champion in the world. And he was a damn good dude. His name was Schlogel. His nickname was Ziggy. I've got some really horrible stories I could tell you about Ziggy from whenever we were in Thailand and the Philippines, but I won't. I don't want to embarrass anyone or make anyone feel uncomfortable talking about those people, ping pong shows, frogs, all that kind of stuff. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free. Lines are open. Would the UAE do this with Trump not knowing? I don't think so. That backwards flip's called a gainer. Thank you so much. 688 Los Angeles. Yeah, here's a piece of the LA right here. I helped on the decom on this thing. 688. There you go. So that's an actual picture of the Los Angeles, or not picture, a piece of the Los Angeles. Ping pong shows, zero flux given. If you know what the ping pong shows are, you might have been to the Philippines, or the Thailand or Singapore or anywhere like that. Let's see here. I posted this to family on Getter. You've really gotten to watch a short segment. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, whoever sent me that. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free if you've got something to say. If you want to talk about the UAE dropping warheads on foreheads on Iran, that's a big one. We got a lot of people watching over on X. Rock on. Rock on. And y'all can follow me on X. I try to troll as many people as I can on X. I'll bring up my X account right here. It's at Navy Vet, U.S. Navy Submarine Vet, retired Squid. For those that don't know, Squid stands for Submarine Qualified Until I Die. There we go. Great job, UAE. I agree. They are doing great work by doing that. If they can't handle the UAE, come on, man. UAE is, those people play for keeps. Sometimes I think we get caught up in rules of engagement and the Geneva Convention and war crimes, when I think what we should really be doing is just going in there like Vikings and destroying that entire area and just pillaging that place. And, quit playing nice. Quit letting something like a war crime get in your way, right? I want us to be nasty. I want my Navy SEALs as mean as possible. I want my Delta guys eating. I want them brutal. I want them absolutely brutal is what I want out of my military. I don't want any games. I don't want any questions left on the table as to what's actually happening. Here we go. We got more footage of the UAE dropping some stuff. Let's grab Bobby in Tennessee. What do you got, Bobby? Bobby, go ahead. Bobby, you're on. Never mind. Okay. That was Bobby, line 2. Anyway, there we go. Let's check back in on the UAE here, because this is getting a little Western is what it looks like right here. Look at that. They're not messing around here. They are not messing around at all. And I'm kind of okay with every damn bit of this. And I wish that we would get our heads on straight and just get as brutal as this is. Let's see here. Let's go. IRGC will never accept our terms. I don't see the way that this can end with them in power. Do you? I believe there are two factions. I believe there is the Ayatollah and these mullahs, and then I think there's everyone else. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to see if there's any more stuff here about the Emirates bombing this place. Let's go. I think I might know where we can find a little footage here. We're going to jump over to Telegram real quick and see if we can find something here, because that, I believe, is where we will get the. Okay, let me see if I can get this logged in on the telly. Let's see here. I don't know if we can get this or not. I know that there's a lot of footage that's there, pretty much shared 24/7, but I can't. It looks like that site is down right now. Okay. Well, that's not good. Okay. Well, it looks like nobody else wants to call in. That's okay too. I understand it's getting a little bit late. It's a little after 9 Central. What is that? 10 Eastern. But the lines are open if you want to get a last couple of calls in before I call it a night. Let's go right here. Bobby in Tennessee. What do you got, Bobby?
Ben, the trees have all filled out and my signal sucks.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. What do you got, Bobby? What would you like to say tonight?
Well, I think, when Trump gets to China, after he says hi to everybody and does his, the things that they do, the next thing he says to Xi Jinping is, you want to get your deal back? Make them surrender.
I think China is really in charge. We've not seen the Ayatollah, Mochabi, I think is his name. We've not seen that guy, have we?
Yeah, the so-called gay Ayatollah.
Yeah, the cardboard cutout. We haven't seen it.
No, I haven't. Nope. And how can you hold power if you don't exude power? Look at Trump. He is a powerful. He's probably the best president we have had. Even better than Reagan, I would say.
Well, any country knows if they're going to negotiate with us, they're going through him. Bobby, I'm going to grab this other call. God bless you, brother. Let's go line 2. What do you got? Nope. Okay, I would have hung up on you anyway. You had the audio in the back. Grimwrath, you already called. Grimwrath already called. Let's see here. Good job, Ben. Fred, you better chill. I know what it is. He's hungry. Let's see here. The Q channel. Yeah, I don't believe in that crap. Go ahead, line 3.
Hi. I know this has nothing to do with the war, but I just have a question to ask because I have commented on everybody's podcast and not one person has even acknowledged this.
Is it something stupid? Because that's usually why people don't acknowledge it.
No, it's not stupid. It's about the very first newscast that I seen after that Co Allen tried to assassinate Trump and whoever else too, that there was a picture of him, Co Allen, arm in arm with both Obamas, Michelle and Barack, arm in arm. And then 10 minutes later, after I closed that out, I went to go try and find that. And it had disappeared. Can't find it anywhere.
Try to find it and send it back. Thank you for calling. God bless you. There we go. Line 3. What do you got? Fred, stop.
Yeah, this is the Telly man,
Hey,
guitar player.
what's up?
Oh, I was just going to tell you that I know the reason why that Marjorie Taylor Greene went to Costa Rica.
She doesn't want to go to prison.
No, it's a democratic republic.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So what does that make? What does that make you feel like she's been in our country being a Republican? What does that tell us? Oh my
Well,
goodness.
she's going to take her congressional retirement down there too. Fred, stop
Yeah.
licking my face. There we go. Yeah, I agree with you, brother. Well, I appreciate you calling, guitar player. You take care. Stay out of trouble. There we go. Fred, stop licking my face. Let's get line 4. Go right ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, Ben?
Living the dream. What you got?
You're a little younger than me. Do you remember when Ross Perot ran for president?
Ross Perot's the worst thing that happened to America in the last 30 years.
Well, maybe, but at least he went and got his people out of Iran when all this went down.
He sent a
in my
private
opinion. I
plane.
think-
He did. He sent a private plane.
Yeah.
So did President Trump. Trump sent a private plane to Afghanistan. Yeah.
But I think that always should have been a president. Should be a businessman instead of a politician, in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I think Ross Perot made a bad business decision when he ran for president because he split the Republican vote, and he is the only reason that we have the Clintons.
That could be. Yeah.
He took votes from Bush, not from Clinton. Thank you for calling. Line 2. Fred, stop licking my face. Go ahead, line 2.
Fred, stop licking his face, damn it.
I know it. I'd rather him lick my toes. It makes me happier. What do you got?
What's up, Ben? Good to hear you, brother.
What you got?
I was just wondering, do you think that this whole deal with Iran and China and everything is going to bring in Russia? Do you think Iran and Russia are going to join up? Do you think this is like the future?
You know, I think Iran has probably been trading oil for things from Russia and China for years, and now that ability to trade has been cut off.
Right. I'm just kind of looking at it like it's kind of, we're putting so much pressure on China, and China is so connected with Russia, and they got so many ties that I'm just wondering if this is going to actually drag Russia away from this stupid ass war that they've been going on, and actually kind of make them focus on what's going on with us.
You could be right. Thank you for calling. Great call. Let's go line 4. You got line 4.
Hello?
Yep, go ahead.
Hey, man, quick, your opinion. Do you think the United States underestimated this conflict with Iran? Do you think it's more difficult than they expected it to be?
What part would we have underestimated?
Well, the part that they're pretty resilient as far as like really, it just seems like they're dragging everything along as far as peace proposals and also just the whole Strait of Hormuz.
Well, I think there are two factions. I think there is Tehran, and then there is the IRGC. And if you look on a map, it's very easy to see. Tehran is about 900 miles from the Strait of Hormuz. And that's like saying Washington, D.C. is aware of what's going on in San Francisco. They are aware, but they can't control it. And that area, the Strait of Hormuz, the IRGC controls that. That is a military industrial complex, for lack of a better term. The military runs that area. And I think the mullahs, the Ayatollah, number one, we don't know if he's alive. They say he is, but why would they come out and say he's dead? Why would they come out and say that he is not healthy? Because all that would do was destroy their government. If Iran was truly powerful and almighty, why would they shut down their internet going into, I think, day 78 is how long their internet has been shut down. So there's no real communication coming out of there. It's very sparse. They're hanging people if they do leak anything. They shut up all the VPNs. I think this is a hard negotiation because you don't know who you're negotiating with. But I think Iran showed their hand. They showed their hand when they sent their foreign minister to China 4 days ago. And he didn't meet with Xi Jinping. He met with the Chinese foreign minister. He wasn't allowed to meet with their supreme, with their president. Whereas our president is going there on his own. And he said, hey, I'm meeting. This is big guy to big guy. You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference. Out one specific part of this conflict that Iran has been successful in. I mean, their navy is gone. Do they still have some ballistic missiles? You have to assume so. Do they still have some military equipment? You have to assume so. Do they have uranium? You have to assume that. But they are not really, no one knows who's in charge. It's the closest thing I can say to the Democrat Party, because you couldn't tell me who's in charge of the Democrat Party right now, could you?
Right. That's the point.
I mean, I can't tell you who's in charge of the Democrat Party. I come from a line of work working on submarines. You got one commanding officer. When we get out to sea and when we close that hatch, and that hatch is sealed watertight, airtight, watertight, he is the supreme leader on that submarine. And it's the same way with the United States. We have shut down the border. The president is the supreme leader here in the United States. I know some people are going to freak out by me saying supreme leader, but he's in charge. He's the HMFIC. Do you know what HMFIC stands for?
No, what's that?
It's a military term. Head motherfucker in charge. That's President Trump.
Okay.
President Trump is the HMFIC. Sorry for the French for some of the people in there, but Trump's the HMFIC. Right now in Iran, they don't have an HMFIC. Nobody knows who's in charge. And I believe by us causing that much disarray, that it's causing a fracture. The same way that Saddam Hussein, when they removed him, all these little factions. Go watch the movie The Godfather. When The Godfather died, they all started fighting, right? They all started fighting. And that was their demise. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you, though, man. God bless you.
Man.
Take care for calling. Thank you for your time watching. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Love to get your opinion. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to be outraged with you. I'm just here to give you my perspective. Line 2, Ed, Poplar Bluff. What you got?
Thank you, Ben. Guys are doing good. I don't think that Iran is, I mean, just my theory. I don't think they're going to come to any terms because they're too stupid. I think that Trump's just going to have to go in there with the Navy and Air Force, and I think he's going to blow them up.
You ever watch the movie Cool Hand Luke? You ever see that movie?
No, I haven't.
You never saw Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman?
No, I have to pull up and watch it tonight.
So Paul Newman, Cool Hand Luke, he was, it's basically set at a prison down in Louisiana during the 60s. And Cool Hand Luke, he is so tough. He has so much grit. He gets in a fight in the movie and he doesn't know how to quit. And the guy that's fighting him beats him to a living pulp and basically just tells him, Luke, stay down, stay down. And he keeps getting up and getting up and getting up until finally the guy's just like, you know, if you won't stay down, I'm going to finish you so that you don't do more harm to yourself. And I believe that's what we're seeing right now, where Iran keeps getting up and it's going to get to the point where they're doing more damage to their population. You know what I mean? The Cool Hand Luke fight scene is brutal. It's a brutal scene in that movie.
I do got to watch that.
You got to watch
it. I don't get it. I really don't get it, but I love you. I love your show. I appreciate you, man.
You take care. God bless you. I appreciate you calling. There we go. Ed, Poplar Bluff. If you've seen Cool Hand Luke, you know the fight scene. You know exactly what I'm talking about. He keeps getting up and he won't stay down. And it's just brutal. And I believe that's where we're kind of at right now with this fight scene. It's just, they don't know any better. They just don't know how to quit. They don't know how to quit. They don't know when to quit. And, you know, it's going to get bad. But at some point, here's an image out of the fight scene. Let me pull up this image out of the fight. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about here. Let me pull up this image out of the fight scene. You'll recognize this. If you've ever seen Cool Hand Luke, it is right here. That's the fight scene that I'm talking about. And the guy here on the right, I believe he was in the Dirty Dozen. George Kennedy gives him a merciless beating, but the way Luke takes it, it wins approval because he just keeps getting up. And you have to respect the Iranian people. You don't have to agree with them, but he just keeps getting up over and over and over. And it's disgusting. And what we're seeing right now is disgusting in Iran. They don't know when to quit. They've become their own worst enemy, which is a sad situation. But hey, you know, I don't know. Ben Dykes, what does it feel like when a sub breaks surface at high speed or punches through ice? When you hit the ice, it feels like the world's coming apart. Paul Newman's a great actor. Absolutely. It feels like the world's coming apart when you bust through the ice. Some of the 688s have reinforced sails. That's one of the things there. So they can do that. And it is, man, I miss it every day. I miss being in the Navy every damn day. I'll tell you that. I really do. Just thinking about it makes me maybe a little sad. With that being said, this is a good reminder of what I miss.
Chief of the Watch on the 1MC, pass the word. Dive, dive, sound 2 blasts of dive alarm, pass the word, dive, dive. Dive, dive. Dive, dive. Here we go again. Here we go again. Same old song again. Same old song again.
Marching down the avenue. Marching down the avenue. We don't know when we'll be through. We don't know when we'll be through. Live, cry, live, cry. Cry, live, cry, live, cry, live, cry, live. A long, long time ago. Long, long time ago. Heard it on the radio. Heard it on the radio. Sounds so good to me. Sounds so good to me. U.S. Navy submarine. U.S. Navy submarine. Recruiter just inside here. Recruiter just inside here. Turns out I gave them 5 years. Turns out I gave them 5 years. Had to get out of boot camp. Had to get out of boot camp. They won't like the smoking lamp. They won't like the smoking lamp. Now I'm a submariner. Now I'm a submariner. Rolling in the deep, sir. Rolling in the deep, sir. Top secret mission, hush, hush. Secret mission, hush, hush. No one's gonna find us. No one's gonna find us. 6 months below the ocean. 6 months below the ocean. Can't remember the sun. Can't remember the sun. Can't write my wife no letters. Can't write my wife no letters. And Tony's gonna get her. Tony's gonna get her. But I won't trade this life away. I won't trade this life away. Makes it worth the Navy pay. Makes it worth the Navy pay. If I can't be a bobblehead. I can't be a bobblehead. Might as well just be dead. Might as well just be dead. A long, long time ago. Long, long time ago. Heard it on the radio. Heard it on the radio. Sounds so good to me. Sounds so good to me. U.S. Navy submarine. U.S. Navy submarine. Live, fly, live, live, fly, live, fly, live, fly, live, fly, live. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Coral Sea. I've been to Coral Sea. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Korea. I've been to Korea. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Desert Storm. I've been to Desert Storm. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Afghanistan. I've been to Afghanistan. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Iraq and back. I've been to Iraq and back. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Hey, sailor. Hey, sailor. Where will you be? Where will you be? I'll be where I have to be. I'll be where I have to be. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for liberty. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. Live, cry, live, free. Cry, live, free. Live, cry, live, cry, live.
Okay, guys, gals, girls, this is Ben Dykes Show. Smash a like and subscribe on your way out the door. See you in the next one. Ben Dykes Show is out.
We could do boom shakalaka. We love the boom shakalaka, you know. Nobody booms and shakalakas as much as I do. I do it better than anybody. I invented it, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize it.
Rock on, salute, God bless you. Bubbleheads forever.